Are we live?
We're live, yeah?
Yeah. And welcome back
Hey.
again to the Quest and Quill Campaign 1, Facing the Frontier. In this week,
Yeah.
the party has had some downtime, but do we know if this is a break or a breaking point? We'll have to find out. Last week, the party exited the tunnel and thought they were going to have a nice relaxing train ride back to Tenton. However, there was complications along the way, as there always is. Though, with some clever thinking and some clever tinkering, they were able to get their way out of there and have made their way back to Tenton, where they've stopped and returned to Mr Weedgen, and now have a long weekend in which they have time to carouse and do whatever they so please. And with that time, I think we're going to start with Aslan. Aslan, what did you do during your downtime when you leveled up? And I gave everybody a feat because I'm a nice DM. Don't ever let anybody tell you different.
Aslan, he spent his week a bit browsing a little bit Trenton, but mostly practicing his offhand abilities, swinging his axe. He also went out shopping for a couple of battle axes because, let's face it, bigger axe, better axe. Also, he's been helping Lula spar, who's also being mentored by Saul. So he's just been fighting and swinging his big axes all week long, ready to fight.
Sure, he is. And in his practice time with Lula.
Well, Lula managed to gain quite a few tips and pointers from the hulky cat person that is Aslan. And during her downtime, she's preparing for the pit fighting that's happening at the end of the long break that she's on. And she's really prepared and she's really pumped up for that. She's ready. And also, she managed to get tutoring from Saul regarding a herbalism kit that she didn't really know how to use properly, to be honest. So now she's
Before we
proficient.
get
Sorry?
before we get onto the herbalism kit, you went
Yep.
into you went pit fighting, right? And you have to make some rolls to see how you did, do you not?
Yes, I do. I'm ready. Got my fists and everything.
Okay. So after practicing and sparring a bit with the lion and with your mentor, you get down into the pits, and there's this great big hulking half-orc figure. He goes, "All right then, I don't like beating up little girls. Please make your rolls."
Oh, you're gonna regret this, big boy.
Big boy.
Okay, so I rolled a 2d10 plus 5, so that's 18
Ooh,
plus 5
nice.
is
Ooh,
18 plus 5 is 23, if I'm not mistaken.
ooh.
Yep.
Nice. And then so that's Dex, Strength, and Constitution.
Okay, that's for strength.
Okay.
So 23 for strength.
And Dex.
Dex is hurry up, dice. 14 plus 5 is 19,
19.
Not bad.
Another 9.
and then for Constitution, oh boy, I see a 0 there. Oh, never mind.
That's the
8 plus
0
3.
on a D10 is good.
Hang on. 11 plus 5 is 16. She got a 16 for Constitution. So,
Okay. So he says, "All right then, take your best shot," and you're allowed to make the first hit. How do you hit him?
all right. Lula takes a deep breath, gets her fists up, and fucking delivers a whopper of a hit on the orc solar plexus.
So you hit him. He's and the half orc sort of goes down and stumbles for a bit. Goes, "Not such a little girl, are you?" And then he fucking swings at you as hard as he can with his great big half orc fist, just a wide, wild swing. And with your dexterity being higher than his attack, you're able to dodge out of the way.
Is that all you
Finally,
got?
and after taunting him, he makes a great big kick at you. He goes to kick. Your constitution roll, you take it, and you're still higher than a 15. So you take the shot, and you're able to stay up. Now he's swaying a little bit. You're not swaying quite as much because your constitution was good. How are you going to finish the fight?
All right. So, Lula is going to. Lula's going to knee the. She is going to knee the big oak boy where the sun don't shine, since he's got these big balls that he apparently has. So knee where the sun don't shine, and then fucking slap him out for acting all.
He comes down onto his knees as you hit him in the nuts. He goes, "That's not fair!" And you just smack him with the side of your hand. He crumples to the ground. You hear the whole crowd cheer. I rolled a 4 on my d4. What is the complication?
Oh
On
shit!
my
The
d6, sorry.
complication.
4 on the d6. What's the complication?
Oh god. Okay. What is it? D4 is you defeat a noble's servant, drawing the wrath of the noble's house.
So, this half-orc man turns out to be the servant of a certain family that you're familiar with. And this may or may not impede your relationship with the Fecfumbles.
All right. As Luna's busy gloating and cheering, she realizes who this orc belongs to. She's like, "Yeah, I'm the best. I'm the oh shit."
Not only did you beat him, you also knocked him in the nuts.
And you look into the crowd, you see both the Fecfumbles with shocked faces, tears streaming down their eyes.
How
Also,
could
that's,
you?
since she finished him with a slap, maybe he's now deaf in one ear or something.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, you
Oh
can't
hell.
listen so good no more.
And now,
He don't work good.
do you want to try and heal him with the practice that you've been doing with the healer's kit, maybe? Yeah.
Upon realizing that Lula may have upset the Fecfumbles quite a bit, not gonna lie, Lula is going to try repair the damage that she inflicted on this poor servant. Yes, she will try to do that.
Maybe make it worse.
No, Lula's learned. She learned.
Saul's off to the side like this. He's very stressed out.
So Lula's just grabbing everything, healing one. All right, big boy, don't you worry. It was just a bit of a mistake. Just drink this. Look. Yeah, okay. Sorry about the slap. Not gonna lie. I got a bit rowdy, but you gotta admit that was a good slap. Now, just.
It was a good shot. There's just like blood leaking down the side of his lips that hangs a bit.
Oh, I know, right? That was great. But hey, that kick, that did really hurt. It did hurt. Not gonna lie. Hey, how about?
And what has Saul been doing besides teaching Leela how to use the healer's kit?
Well, Saul has
And how did he teach her? Please tell me with your high medicine proficiency.
I'm sorry. What did I teach her?
How did you teach her with the herbalism kit?
The herbalism kit. I think maybe with some of the more since he's gotten a pretty good look at the concoctions that she'd made before that poisoned her friends, she would have got. Maybe he recreates the less dangerous ones. Maybe not the liquid death one that nearly killed her, but some of the less dangerous ones, and has her, taste them, small doses, and then teach her how to treat herself so that she learns a little bit more humility, maybe.
And Lutando, does Lula learn any humility?
He has her microdose her own potions.
Humility, big fancy word. She probably learns not to gloat. No, she doesn't learn anything.
Certainly not.
Except proficiency with the herbalism kit.
Oh yeah, she's working
As
up
well
there.
as getting the healer's feet. Nice one.
Yeah.
And anything? What else did Saul do over his long weekend?
He did a lot of things. I think the main thing is that he probably bewildering to everyone, he took like a part-time job as a cook at the pit.
Okay.
How did he do that without
You're
speaking?
new.
I think
Yeah,
he just goes in the
exactly.
kitchen and starts cooking during rush hour, and like nobody notices. He just acts like he belongs there.
The male half-elf twin comes in and he goes, "Get out! What do you think you're doing here?"
Can I roll to see how well I'm cooking? Like maybe he
Yeah,
sees how
sure.
good of
Go
a
ahead.
job I'm doing. If I do
Oh
a
yeah,
good
go
job.
ahead.
You can just offer him a spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like taste it.
So I'm gonna add. I'm just gonna
I
roll.
was gonna let the food be good because you took the chef beat, but like if you want to roll for it, go ahead. You can add your
Let's see
proficiency
how.
modifier and whatever.
Oh god. Can I do it with advantage since I have the chef feat?
Did you roll badly?
I rolled badly.
Remember when he said he was a nice
Narrative
DM,
reason.
guys?
I think
A narrative reason.
I think a narrative reason would be that he did go out and buy cook's utensils, and probably has bought like ingredients and like knows what to look for to like really impress. So I think he would have prepared for this, knowing that he does have a barrier.
Can I help him get
You have
advantage, please?
advantage.
Okay. All right, let's try this.
Sure.
Okay,
No,
that's a lot better.
I was gonna say like he probably
You're
isn't the only
welcome.
one in there, so
An
there's probably
18.
other people there too.
18 total.
So the it's like quite a tall half elf man. He's got a bit of a skinny face, but not handsome, you know. And he gives it a bit of a with his long crooked nose. Doesn't smell bad at all. What is it?
I think it's like a it's probably like during breakfast or something. I think maybe it's like a fancy gravy of some sort with the biscuits or something. Got like a
Let's get
it's
some
not,
gravy.
it's not just salt and pepper. It's like a blend of spices. I think it's yeah, it's good.
Sounds good.
It's some
And
good
how do you explain to him what it is? In character, he's asking you. Smells good. What is
you
it?
could probably see mostly what it is, right?
He shakes it. It's gravy. He pours it on
It's a
some
bit of a
biscuits.
wiggle.
Hands it over. Motions to table 6.
Go bring it, you peasant.
He picks one of the biscuits up.
We lost him.
It's not bad at all. Did you guys lose me?
You're back.
Yeah, your
You're
camera
back.
froze
You're
for a
good.
second.
Okay, sorry. So he picks the biscuit up and like, it's not bad at all. Okay, but we don't have any wait staff here, so you're gonna have to make a plan about that one, buddy. And he gives it back to you.
Okay.
You can take it to table number
Yeah,
6.
he'll do that. He'll think about that. And that night for the dinner rush, he'll stop Lula after training and motion for her to follow him.
Hopefully no one asked to speak to the chef, huh?
Yeah. Smile and nod.
That's so good.
And if they don't like the food, it could go very
That was
badly
quick.
for them.
That was quick.
Flip it.
So, besides cooking and having Lula practice her fighting skills by carrying a tray and swerving through people in the busy bar, what else does Saul do with his downtime?
Downtime, he is. Let's see, what else is there to do? I know.
He's not looking at the camera, is he?
Who, me? He I think he definitely attended that fight to watch Lula fight, and I think he would like to actually do a fight as well. See
Oh
how
yeah, you want to do a fight as well?
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay,
What do
give
I
me a
gotta
roll.
roll?
So I need a strength roll, dexterity roll, and a constitution roll.
It also sounds like you could use a waitress.
You have to roll 2d10s.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
2d10 plus
2d10s?
5.
Yeah, 2d10s plus 5.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, no, I figured that would go wrong that way.
So after seeing Lula beat up this half orc, Saul goes in, skinny,
Oh.
wiry old man,
So it's a 14.
and
14.
just hold up. I'll
Sorry,
ask them in
sorry.
order. The skinny, wiry old man steps into the ring, and looking at you, another skinny, wiry old redneck with a hat on. He steps up in the ring, and he throws his hat down, and he done spitting on the. Okay, old timer, let's do this. And he's like skinnier than you. You can see his rib bones. He's like a piece of dried out old jerky.
Yeah,
With
this
scraggly ass beard and gray hair. You
This
know,
gives me
Don't lose to
Mahoney,
him, bro.
and you can see he's swaying just a little bit.
yeah, he's got old man
So-
strength. This frightens me. So for the
He's
2d10,
like Master Roshi.
I got a 14.
So
And then,
14 for your strength. You come in to
Yep.
hit him, and he takes the hit. Hey, he takes the hit.
Okay. And then I do another
Do it again.
2d10 for the dexterity.
Yep.
+5.
Yeah, it's the same thing every time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a 23
23. Nice.
for the dexterity.
He comes at you, and they're crazy, wild swings, but his crackhead energy is not enough to get past your monk abilities.
Okay, that's not great. That's Constitution for 8.
8.
Yeah.
Let me
Oh, he rolled a 2 and a 1. Oh.
Yeah, not good.
Ooh.
So this crazy
That was
old
nice
redneck
roll.
after just swinging wildly at you goes, "Get here, you little fucker!" And he grabs you and he goes, "Finally, gotcha!" And he headbutts the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And both of you sort of like stumble away from it. Blood drips out of his nose. He goes, "Yeah, I got you now."
Spit out a tooth.
And I'm gonna give you a chance to have one turn to do something.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, he's gonna try and grapple you and take you to the ground.
I'm
He's
gonna
coming at you like to grab you again.
try to do a stunning strike.
Come on, Saul!
I think it's just gonna be like a quick jab to the throat, just out of nowhere.
So roll your attack to see if you hit first, and then what do I need to save?
All right, that is a 20 to hit, and then the
And
save
what do I need to save?
DC 14 Constitution.
Hey.
12 on the dice. How much constitution do you think this wiry old redneck has?
I don't know. He's
Yeah,
a wild
one.
redneck. Who knows?
He's the
One.
commoner, so at most I'll give him a +1.
Okay.
So it's 13. He doesn't make it.
Yeah, so just
whack
jab
him,
him in
and
the
he's-
throat. Just starts coughing.
Looking at you with his wild eyes.
And it
He's
just
gonna get you, boy.
just like, and after that, it's just like a flurry of blows, just hitting all of his nerve points, everything, just fucking taking him out.
He sways, and then just falls face first into the mud, like.
All right.
Mud fights? God. Gross.
Hit fight, what do you expect?
That's awesome.
I'd expect it
the
sand,
old
not
man of
mud.
Yeah, he's
Fighting.
yeah, he's gonna stumble out of the fighting ring, not feeling too good. After that headbutt, I'm gonna go sit down and sulk for an hour.
Luna's gonna go right up next to Saul and be like, "It's so awesome, dude! Oh, he's so cool!"
He's got like blood matting his beard.
Literally,
Hey.
you do.
Let me help you out with that.
Do you,
He leans back, lets her.
is that the only type of training that's all?
Yeah.
Luchando, pull it out.
During his
Luchando, you got one.
downtime.
Yeah, he would definitely get with Frank to do gun training. He'd kind of have the dual purpose, I think, I think he knows that Frank is really good at maintaining his guns and wants to pick up on that, but he also wants to try to teach Frank better gun etiquette. Just because he almost like he shot at somebody Aslan was holding. It's scared, kind of scared.
Do tell me how you're convincing Frank without speaking to have better gun etiquette.
You can only describe your actions, not the intentions behind
True.
them. Go.
I understand that. I think, man, that's
How
really
would you
hard.
even approach
I think-
Frank for this
I think he's
training?
gonna-
Like,
I think he's gonna be like, we're gonna be practicing like shooting, right? He's gonna be like shooting at bottles out on like on top of like a fence or something.
yeah, Frank would probably come looking for you and
Yeah.
also Lula, and having him made his own alterations to his gun. He wants to practice with some people there, and thought you know good idea to get you guys as well. So he gets you guys, and we're practicing some you know just some tin cans after from
Yeah,
from a
absolutely.
bit away or whatever.
I think I
You
know
can
what he
tell-
does. I think I know what he
Okay.
does.
Go ahead.
So he's gonna next time we go up to like check out like the cans and the bottles and stuff, see how well we shot. He's gonna like kind of stop you and like turn you around so he's facing you directly. Hold up his hand, you know, like that, and like carefully put like a tin can on top of your head, and then walk back. And he's gonna hand a gun to Lula. He's gonna hand his gun to Lula. Nod.
As he sees you doing this, Frank will be like, "What the hell? No, no!"
Don't you worry, I'm a good shot. Just
He holds his
don't
hands up.
move.
He holds his hands up. Just shrugs. What does Lula do?
Oh, Luna's gonna take the gun, and she trusts herself, and she's gonna shout to Frank, "Don't move an inch, you hear? I got this."
You can see Frank just
What's Frank gonna do?
Frank is knowing that he's personally tinkered with their guns and knows that the only thing that can fuck this up is Lula actually missing and not anything having to do with the gun. He grabs a hold of his shield and just places it in front of his face so that either you hit the can or you hit the shield.
Okay.
Wise choice there.
Lily, what? Take the shot. Make the roll.
Oh, okay. It's been a while since I actually fired my
You're gonna
damn
have to-
gun.
How are you gonna just decide whether or not he hits it? Is he gonna do my AC or what's the?
No, the tin can has an AC of its own.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's a really good thing you got that shield up. Gotta say.
Well, let me stop you there, because the gun doesn't go off. It's not loaded. He's gonna reach over and lightly. He's gonna reach over and lightly slap Lula over the head.
This man rolled a 2.
You hear
So much
the
of a two that Lula squeezes the trigger as she was taught by Saul, and nothing happens.
He reaches over and he cuffs her over the back of the head. Not hard, but not gentle either. He looks a little disappointed that she went over it so easily.
You can see Frank just lowering his shield and then like noticing that the gun didn't went off and then just grabs the fucking can and throws it at Saul. You fucking asshole!
Fighting for my life over here.
Gonna take his gun back from Lula and gesture for Frank to come back to the shooting line.
Frank will come back.
Just looks at him.
What does Frank do besides practicing gunplay as a target?
So as they're shooting cans or whatever, you guys can notice at some point Frank will just grab one of the cans and put it way further than any of the other cans you guys have shot so far, and then goes and stands back. And you guys and he will start to aim, and you can notice that he has a little. It's not quite a scope. It's more like iron sights modification to his gun.
Mhm.
And there's a new little what's it called? Like Kyle, what was the word?
Flask?
No, the symbol.
Sigil.
A sigil, yeah.
Yeah, sigil. That's the word I was looking for. He has a little sigil on it that's
An arcane sigil.
an arcane sigil with a hammer and a screw. We will have a definitive design by next session that we could show off. and he will shoot, and you can notice that he shoots from way further, and he still hits his target dead on.
Without rolling.
Fallen. Yeah, I don't know if so.
Go off.
You get the spell sniper feat or something.
Yes.
Nice.
I now have 240 range for my
Yeah,
for
it's
my
spell sniper.
firebolt.
Ridiculous.
Oh.
It's awesome though.
Yeah, God.
It also ignores half cover and 3/4 cover.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Not bad
Is
at all.
You get a
Aren't you
free
glad I'm
attack
such a
cantrip
nice,
too, right?
nice DM and gave you a free feat?
yes, very nice DM. Apart from his training
You're
with
welcome.
Sol and Lula, he also gave some money to his in-laws to buy a couple new carts and fix up the old one. And he also he takes up the offer for the prostitute, requesting a gigolo. However, he ends up not actually doing anything with this person besides sitting down and talking,
Oh,
because he's a lonely man.
Would everyone else see him walk off with this male
Probably.
escort? Okay.
Probably. It's probably like on the very first
Yes.
night that he does this. And
He's about a 6 foot tall, pretty handsome man with the blonde, short cropped hair. He seems to wear a nice green jacket and fancy pointed boots.
Frank would like to be carried by him on his way.
He carries you like a bride on their wedding night.
Yes, thank you.
have fun with your friend.
I will. After a while, he'll come back, and then he spends most of his nights drinking with John.
Yeah. Just real quick, as John sees him being taken away by the
Being
escort.
whisked away.
Yeah. He'll look to the other ones and he would say, "You ever seen a squirrel with its mouth full of nuts?"
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna look like, I imagine.
So
PG-13, guys. PG-13.
No, that's naughty.
Squirrels are part of nature, okay?
That's naughty, John. No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lou. I forgot you're a damsel.
I'm
My
a
apologies.
dad, so I just don't need that imagery.
I forget you're something of a Puritan. Are you a virgin?
Not the point. Not the point.
All right. My apologies.
That is very
Sometimes I forget that not everyone's as loose as I am.
I need some air.
But beyond this, during the daytime,
3 people an hour away from the table. Aslan and Sol are sitting alone. Anyway. Aslan and John. Sorry. Sorry. What does John do?
So during the downtime, he would go and buy himself a purple Skinco leather overcoat. It has
Beautiful.
rivets inside of it to reinforce it, so it counts as a studded leather. And he got it in the very fancy, snazzy.
Not to interrupt you, it's a skinker.
Oh, Skinker. Okay. So a Skinker leather overcoat, and it's reinforced with leather rivets on the inside, so you can't really see them. And he spent the extra gold to get it in a rare shade of Midnight Saphira. Very snazzy. Beyond this, he would attempt to.
Particularly rare skinkers, which are just giant lizards that are grown usually in the mountains. The particular ones with the nice colors usually come from mountainous regions.
Gotcha. And then he would try to get a room in the Silken Splendor if he's able to. Given all that,
It would take
all that's happened.
We all have rooms, don't we? Because of the tab.
No.
Or...
No.
I was just drinking.
The Silken Splendor is hard to get rooms in, and most of the rooms that they offer are outside rooms. If you want to get an inside room, it's like a waiting list thing, but you can put down a deposit and get on the waiting list, and as soon as the room opens up, it'll be yours.
All right, cool. So I put a deposit down on Fecfumbles tab.
Hey.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so beyond that, during the daytime, he would, I guess he would have bought a cheap tent because ever since the tunnels, he would have felt some kind of awakening inside of him. As he travels throughout the town in the day, he would begin to notice that he's hearing voices, and at first he thinks he's going crazy, but then he realizes that these voices are actually people's thoughts around him. And so he would retreat during the daytime into his little tent, and in there he would begin practicing, moving small pebbles with his mind, and moving dust, displacing dust in the air, and the likes. Slowly trying to get a hold of these new abilities that he's beginning to manifest. Beyond this, he would also copy all of Fecfumbles' notes within his little black booklet, full with, along with any esoteric drawings or diagrams written in black ink. He would put down some of his own theories as to what's happening, and he would also go into meditation every now and then, and he would try and dive into the depths of his own psyche, trying to grasp at the tethers that connects him to his patron, as he attempts to fish out words and gestures of power, and then anything that he can gather that's usable, he would write them down into his book as spells. And beyond this, one time when he went to sleep, right before he was about to wake up, he began to dream of his mother, and he calls out to her, and in his dream, but she's awake in real life, and all of a sudden she would begin to hear her son's voice in a watery, ethereal, echoing sound, and he would call out to her, "Mother, mother, can you hear me? It's me, John. I've done it. I'm making a difference. Mother."
You hear in return in your sleep, and though you're in a dream, it rouses you as if waking. A small voice, so familiar, so comfortable, so comforting. Johnny boy, is that you? What's going on? What is this? And you wake.
Yeah, he would gasp awake, and he would frown, and he would realize that what just happened was different from a regular dream. So he would close his eyes and try and focus and try and connect to her again. And he would say, I'm not sure, but I'm alive and I'm well, Mother. I've faced some dangers, but nothing I couldn't handle. But now I'm able to have these capabilities. I'm not sure where they're coming from, but they're growing. I think I've been anointed.
Well, you always were a special one, my special little boy. Please, just whatever you do, be safe and come back to me and do. Static.
God damn it.
Yeah. So yeah. So he would try, like, he'd be like, no. He would fumble within his tent, looking around for his book, and then he begins leafing through it to be able to connect with her again. But then come to find out, he's out of spell slots. Um,
Warlock.
yeah.
Just take a nap, bro. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So so beyond this, during the evenings, he would definitely go to the Silken Splendor, also known as the Pit. where he would gather with his friends, and he would gamble and binge drink and eat. He would try and he would buy drinks for the locals on Fecfumbles tab. Not for everyone, but for people he think might be important or influential within the community. He would try and ingratiate himself with them, as well as any women that might show a particularly friendly disposition towards John. He would buy them a drink as well. And besides that, he would, on the last night, once he's finally done copying all of the professor's notes, he would return them to the professor. And then after that, he would go back down to the ground level, and he would join his friends at a table. And
Frank is a little hammered.
The party all sitting there, and as John walks up to them, what are they talking about?
You can hear Frank drunkenly rambling, kind of cussing Saul out still for that thing he pulled with the gun.
What did
Just
he say?
just being drunk. He's like, this motherfucker just almost shot me. It's all his fault, and he points at Saul. I'm never trusting him again.
Saul is patiently rolling a cigarette.
Yeah, John, hearing this, he
John,
would. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can finish.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Just rolling
John,
a
hearing
cigarette.
this, as he approaches, John would slowly sit down and shoot a sly smirk towards Frank, and he would say, "Didn't you almost shoot Aslan back in the tunnels as well?"
No, that was my gun malfunctioned. I've since fixed it. It's good now.
Okay. Well, beyond all this, friends, I think it's time we discuss what happened to us and what we intend to do next. So,
Saul lights his cigarette, leans back, and regards John.
he says, we saw some really freaky, weird things in there, and I think we can all be sure that that pyramid, it's some kind of weapon, and it's connected to those, not only those monsters in the tunnels, but also those spheres of light. Beyond this, there's something that Saul and I haven't shared with you yet. But
Oh,
You
yes,
keeping secrets?
no, it's not a secret. It's just we haven't had really time to discuss it. But as we were leaving the mountain, I think you guys saw that shadowy figure in a hood and a cloak, seeming to float above the rails, different from all the other monsters that we spotted within the tunnels. But even beyond that, while you guys were busy within the locomotive's compartment, Saul and I were in the back having a smoke, and we saw a shooting star behind the mountain, except it wasn't falling from the sky. It was flying towards the sky upwards, seeming to leave from the mountain at a blinding speed. I don't know what that was, but I think you guys might want to know about it. But anyways, I know it's all connected. That and the kidnappers, the ones who took the deputy, they're somehow all related. Perhaps someone is using the pyramid and the tunnels for their own purposes. What do you guys think?
Saul nods.
What about the machine man? Maybe he can help.
Well, we tried asking him some questions. He when we were back in the tunnels, right? He didn't really seem to know much of anything of use. He didn't even know where the professor was. We had to find that out on our own. But speaking of which, we did kind of promise Fecfumble that we'd rescue his assistant at some point. He would say, looking to Frank.
I'm not going back to those tunnels. I can't get those things out of my mind.
Well, we can go without you if we must. Though I'd
Chip
rather
in.
we have your help. John would
Well,
smirk
I would.
to Aslan and then look to Frank to see his reaction.
Well, I would have preferred some help when we almost crashed the train, but I didn't get any either. As he orders another drink.
Hey, I was checking on Fecfumbles to make sure he was okay. Sorry
Yeah,
about
well, if
that.
that train had crashed, none of us would have been okay.
How's the train gonna crash? It's on a rail.
Oh,
You're one to talk. You were probably the reason it was going crazy.
He would frown and look embarrassed and nervous, glancing left and right to his companions, and he'd say, "What do you mean?"
Well, during your little nap, you something happened with you, and all of my controls went crazy. I
yeah,
barely kept that thing on the rails.
yeah, it
Oh,
was pretty strange. Things
oh,
just started floating, rocks, and just the levers just started.
All of my
flap,
knobs
flap.
started turning.
Yeah.
oh, is that what happened? Oh well, sorry about that. But the tunnels, they seem to awaken something inside of me. My powers, they're quickly growing.
Oh.
Yes. Look. He would glance left and then right, and then he would outstretch a hand on the table, and then all of a sudden one of the fork next to Frank, it would just slide across the table and come into his hands, and then he would pick it up and show it and be like, "See,
Saul
is,
furrows his
isn't
brow
that
and
something?"
leans in.
Wicked. Huh.
What was that? What was that, Saul?
He just furrows his brow and leans in. He's very interested in that neat little trick.
Yeah, he says, "Yes, now I can just move things with my thoughts. Nothing too heavy. Not yet, at least. But it's a little freaky, isn't it?"
While you guys are talking, you'll notice Aslan opening his claw and trying to use telekinesis to pull the the fork towards him.
John would be like, and then he would let go, and then he would make the fork fly over to Aslan and into his hand.
Saul has no idea what's going on.
Hmm.
He's
As
freaking out.
as this is going on, you can see Frank just like he has his glove on, and you could hear like a little sound effect as it goes into his hand, just do do do. As it just finally reaches his hand, he just holds it, and as I looks at it, you just hear do do do.
It feels really cool right now.
And then John would say, he would snicker for a moment and say, "Just kidding, Aslan, that was me." And then he would pull it back into his hand again.
Aw.
The sound was me.
But Frank, I really want to give I really want you to give some consideration to helping us with this, because like the professor said, he has most of his notes, they're archived within AI, and so he might have information that's important for this conspiracy that's happening. For us to uncover what's going on, we'll need to be able to collect every information that we can.
And you don't have to go inside with us. You can just wait outside. We'll do the heavy lifting. You'll be our getaway driver. Yeah.
Oh no, he should definitely come inside with us.
Oh.
Well, as long as John doesn't
Oh.
screw with my my controls again, and well, maybe we need to be a little stronger before we head back.
Saul's gonna set down his slate and carefully write down TNT ?
Uh-huh.
Frank would look
TNT.
Frank would look at this and go, "Ah, yes, I like this man.
What's that?
Good idea." Kaboom boom.
He nods.
Frank
You
is
can
just
see
like
he's
kind of
struggling
wobbling
to
back and
figure out how
forth.
to spell dynamite. He's like DINO, scratches it out, erases it.
Frank will like try to help him, but with his drunk ass, he's like really useless. He's like, no, the end needs to be over there.
Over there. We lost Frank. Yeah, there
Oh,
he goes.
no.
Yeah, there he goes.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
dang it.
Hey.
Hey.
So you say we should be stronger before we go back, but I know I feel stronger after we've left that place, and now that I'm rested, I have actually been able to speak with my mother somehow.
Oh,
Mama?
All the way back in Baygate. So I guess if you guys need me to contact someone, I can do that too.
How is your mother, John?
She's well, still doing her best. The conversation wasn't very long. It was rather unexpected. And before we could speak more at hand, I lost the connection to her. I'm not fully sure how it all works yet.
Frank will lean over to Saul and just be like, she's a lovely woman.
oh God. Oh God.
Oh yes, she is very popular, so to speak.
Does she have a lot of friends?
Anyways, enough of that.
Okay.
It seems we have a meeting tomorrow with Mr. Weedgen. I wonder what kind of task he has for us. But beyond that, I was looking at the Gazette earlier, and apparently, some folks are being harassed by a beast folk chieftain known as Longtooth. I was wondering if maybe using Aslan as an intermediary, we could also, it'd be an option to go speak with him, right? Maybe he can help, douse those hot flames of violence, and perhaps we can petition their help somehow to help us clear out the tunnels. What do you think?
Maybe not so good idea.
Why not?
The beast folk usually don't like us. He'll stroke his mane a little bit, and he looks very awkward when he says, "We kill many beast folk, but not Aslan. Aslan is good, but
you're a beast folk."
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'll just look down.
Okay.
Not sure what to say anymore.
He says, this would be at Sunhill. Apparently, some kind of mission station. Do you know, any of you know where that is?
Does Saul know where that is?
Saul knows exactly where that is.
Okay.
You know of the circumstances of the establishment of the Sunhill Mission Station because you were present there before it was established. I'm not going to say any more, but that's the same place.
Sounds good.
Does Frank know anything?
Nah. It's kind of it's a weird religious mission. It's like, give me a history check. Fuck it. Like, are you proficient in history?
Isn't Lula a local also?
Yeah, I am.
Give me a history check. Yeah.
I'm not as much as a local
20.
compared to Soul.
Gotcha.
Natural 20?
No, dirty 20.
Dirty 20? It's an obscure mission station that was set up on some old battleground with
Lula
a
would
site
not know.
that supposedly has holy reverence to the beast folk. It was some sacred site to them, and after some sort of battle, which is sort of remembered as a glorious battle in the colony's history, there was a mission station set up on the hill. That's what your history check would give you. And thank you for doing a history check, because it means I get to explain the history.
I'm proficient in history, bro. I'll do this more often. No worries. So, Frank,
but where is it though? How far is it?
It's to the east, the west of where you guys are currently, and it's in the what's called like the middle plane, basically. It's not exactly the high plane. It's the middle plane, which is just on the east side of the Great River.
Okay, and that's how many days on foot?
At least a week. It's about a week's travel, depending on the route you take.
Is there a
Gotcha.
train we can take there?
Especially on foot. No. The train goes north to south and it's not even complete yet.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so Frank with his drunk head will go, ah, yeah, I know that place. And then you just stop
Yeah.
talking.
And where is it? Is it near?
No, it's far.
Oh,
It's,
how far?
it's west, that like that way, and he points to a direction that's definitely not west. And he said, well, I have little legs, probably a week and a half.
So did you point in the right direction and called it west, or is it the other way around?
I did call it west. However, I pointed in completely the wrong direction.
I think Saul is going to reach over and like push your hand slightly until it's the right direction.
Yes, that way, west.
He's going to make eye contact with John and nod.
A week and a half. All right, we'll
he
leave
nods
that
once again.
as a second option then. Not exactly a skip and a step, is it? But I guess we should see what Mr. Weedgen has to say tomorrow. And
Yeah.
if that's a bit of a more convenient job, then we can do that first. And then we can leave the tunnels for after that. Or if we're not feeling confident in our ability to rescue AI, or retrieve him at least, then perhaps we can go see about the Sun Hill station instead. But that'll be a bridge that we get to when we cross there.
Indeed. But right now, let's drink. Wow.
Saul's gonna
Yeah.
tap his slate and draw a little sun and circle on it and tap it.
Oh, that's a nice sun. You have very steady lines.
He furrows his brow and taps it again.
Yeah, the sun. He would screw his brows and then look down on it, and then he would say, "Is that paler? You drawing paler?"
He nods.
Oh goodness! Don't tell me you're religious, Saul.
He shrugs.
Frank will like grab a hold of his thing and just go, "What a beautiful drawing! Whoa!"
Well, at least you can't preach.
Nice.
He's gonna pluck the slate away, looking very put out.
So, and then John will put his hands up and he says, "I mean no offense."
Say it, sister.
He's gonna take out the. We still have the paper, right, from the battle of the sun place or whatever.
Yeah,
Yep, it's about
it's in the Discord under
yeah.
building canon.
It's in the Discord. I just
Yeah.
sent it to Diego. Let's put it up in the stream if possible.
Yeah, he's gonna take out because he held on to it, and he's gonna tap the Sun Hill mission station.
Oh, you want to go there first?
He nods.
Well, how about we wait until our meeting with Mr. Weedgen, and then we can have a better idea of what we should do next. But I'm up for traveling. I still have some coin left. Perhaps I could buy a donkey and a cart to speed things up.
He looks content at this and leans back and pours
Yeah.
himself whiskey.
I'd love for us to get an ass.
Thought you already got some ass.
I don't get it.
You could see his gloomy and happy face just kind of just disappear, and he just has a blank statement. Mm-hmm.
But yes. But anyways, I think like as Lula said, let's just drink for tonight and forget about all this for just one more evening.
Yeah.
Hi, my friends. Here's to our health, and to saving the world.
And to
Cheers.
asses.
Cheers.
Drink to that.
Then they would clink their glasses and. Oh, thank you, Mr. Fecfumble.
I assume everybody would make their way to their various beds and sleep for the night, preparing for the meeting in the morning.
Frank will do some tinkering and then
And Saul would wake in the morning, probably to do his exercise. Am I wrong? Frank would do some drunken tinkering throughout the night. Okay.
He's done some shopping
Saul
earlier
would
today
wake
for
in the
some
morning to do his
materials.
push-ups. Oh yeah, of course he did.
Yep, Frank has done some shopping during the day for some materials, and he's drunkenly just tinkering away throughout the night.
I wanted to ask, how
Yes,
much
please.
did I win for that fight?
Yeah, how much did Lula weigh as well?
Yeah. You guys can both add 25 gold each.
Okay, cool. Since I'm anticipating that we're going to be leaving soon, since it's been a few days,
Mhm.
I want to grab some food from the kitchens, like some fresh ingredients, and leave behind 20 gold
Okay.
to
Take it out
cover
of
it.
your inventory.
He doesn't ask permission, he just does it.
Yeah,
So
seems
gonna
fair.
get you.
And before we head
Better
off,
to ask
Lula-
forgiveness than permission, right?
Exactly.
exactly.
You're still gonna get
So-
fired.
Oh yeah, at some point
With-
also, John would wait. Did Lula end up waitressing or not?
She did.
Okay.
Yeah, she did.
So in that case, he would finish his tankard and then set it back down, and then he would clap, waitress, another. Oh yes, Lula, here for you. He would give the empty cup to her.
Saul
What?
stares at her and nods his head.
Uh, okay.
So with that, everyone makes their way to their beds, and Saul would probably wake up first in the morning to do his training. Does Lula wake up to join him?
Yeah, with a bit of a hangover, yep.
Yeah, and as they're doing their push-ups, there seems to be some sort of shout coming from the middle of the center. You hear it very vaguely at first. And you can't quite make it out, but there seems to be at least a chant of several dozen people shouting something from the middle of
Is that
town.
like a religious chant? Can I roll to see if I recognize it? Okay.
Sure, but it's not a religious chant that you recognize. It seems to be some sort of the thing that you can most closely equate it to is a crowd of people shouting at an execution when a witch was being burnt.
All right.
So, is it me or does it sound like they're talking about a Charlie? Do you know Charlie? Is there a dangerous Charlie around here? That's
Hey.
what I'm here.
He shrugs. He motions for her to follow. He's going to head towards that noise.
All right, let's go.
Just real quick, once Lula brings back John's drink, he would tip her a gold coin.
Hey, all right. Look at that.
Thank you.
So
I
yeah,
get
and
10% of that. It's a finder's fee.
oh, and I'm sorry, just real quick again, just at a certain point, John would like to exchange some coins and break up some of his gold and get a little silver, a little copper. Well,
Oh yeah, I did that.
Don't worry about that. That's interchangeable. I really don't care about that so much.
okay.
But Aslan and John also wake up a little bit closer to the center of town, hearing this chant of
Hey, Orly.
Frank, still tinkering, sees the sun outside his window, sort of looks at it and goes, what time it is, and then hears it echoing in the distance. What do you guys do?
Aslan
would,
will walk towards the noise.
Yeah, John would wake up with a frown, disgruntled, because he's been struggling to sleep. And he would wake up at the sounds of the chanting, and he would quickly get dressed and fix up his hair real quick, and then walk out with his face still all puffy from just waking up, and he would head towards the chanting.
So you two head towards the chanting. Everybody else?
Frank would
Likewise.
Frank would realize like, oh shit, it's morning already. Ah, not again. As he goes and like cleans his hands that are full of grease and grabs a cup of a coffee in the and then gingerly walks his way over
Okay,
to
you're
the
fucking
canteen.
around. The other two, what are you two doing?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get a cup of coffee. There's some shouting in the distance, but you know it's fine. Just being
I
an
didn't
old
sleep
man
all
about
night,
it. We
man.
understand, bro. We
Yeah.
understand.
Let me do my role playing, man. Shit.
He's an old man. Okay. The other two, what are you two doing?
You mean like me and Lula, or
Yeah.
oh
Sorry.
yeah, no, we're headed that way.
Yeah, we're headed that way. Yeah.
Well, we
Okay.
want to see what's going
As
on.
you guys round the corners, you see your companions also heading the same direction. And as you approach the main street of town, Frank, looking out from the farmstead, there's a crowd of people gathered. Workers, railroad workers, some drunk from the night before, some sober and seeming very angry, and they're chanting, "Pay your leave! Pay your leave! Pay your leave! Pay your leave!" And with that, we're gonna take a break.
All right.
All right.
They say pay or leave.
Yeah.
Yes, they
That's what I was
did.
wondering.
Are they
That's
mad
what
at
I was
us?
wondering.
Back.
And we're back. The crew assembles. Frank steps out of his in-laws' house. It's down the road a bit, but it's still on the main thoroughway. And in the main thoroughway, you can see the rest of the companions approaching a far larger group of what look like railway workers and ARC employees, all chanting. There seems to be at least one sign with something scribbled on it that's nearly completely illegible, as it seems to have been like washed away. But the crowd is there chanting, "Pay or leave, pay or leave, pay or leave, pay or leave." And you can see as all of you approach, one of the windows seems to open and a small little goblinoid face peeks out. And as it does, a bottle is thrown and smashes against the window. And the window is quickly shut again. The crowd is very riled up. It seems that 6 bluecoats, a whole troop of bluecoats, is standing at the end of the road, but they have their weapons up, and they're standing there, and their sergeant seems very, very hesitant to do anything.
Does
What is
the
everyone doing
crowd
as
seem
they
to have a
approach?
leader?
It seems to be a rabble of people. I mean, you can give me a charisma check to see if you can pick someone out specifically, but it
Maybe an
Can it
insight.
be, can it be insight?
sure.
Well, I
Insight.
guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's the same bonus for me.
I'll do insight.
That's a 7.
Whew.
I had a 17.
It seems to be a rabble-rousing crowd. 17.
It's just a
You
mob.
notice that
It's
at the
really
front of
organized.
the crowd, yeah, you notice at the front of the crowd, even though it is somewhat of a mob, there's a large Goliath with distinctive tattoos standing there, bellowing his lungs out.
We recognize this Goliath.
Isn't it Mr. Hill?
Yeah, it's Mr. Hill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
Okay. Cool. I would like to try to walk into Mr. Weedgen's office.
Luna would
As
like
you
to try
approach and
walk.
you step onto the... Continue.
Sorry about that. Luna would like to try approach the blue coats at the front, looking all like yeah, and ask them, "What's up?"
As you walk towards Mr. Weedgen's office, the crowd sees you approaching the thing and they go, "No! He needs to come out here himself!" And you hear Mr. Hill specifically say, "Oi, you! You were on the rail the other day! Come on! We're here to get this motherfucker to speak!"
He
They
nods.
won't let you
He
get
tries
onto
to go
the
inside.
veranda.
John would approach with
They
his
won't let you
hands
get.
up.
They won't let you get to the veranda. Lula, as you approach the Blue Guards, the sergeant shouts out, "You don't recognize him. Others in the party might recognize him from the train." And he says, "Halt! No closer! This is a place of order."
Well, I don't want to. Does it look? I don't think there is order around here. So just tell me what's happening. Why is everyone so mad?
"Civilian, please disperse. There is a protest currently commencing against the ARC company. Please go about your business as if nothing was happening."
Bit hard to do that, but sure thing.
I know I probably
Is
spent
John
a little
doing?
time trying to get through. Once it's clear that that's not happening, I would like to use a combination of my monk shit and
Oh
stealth
shit!
to like I don't know if I could like jump from the rooftops to get on top of the building and get in through like an upper floor or something like that. But basically try to
The
sneak in.
rail office. The rail office is one of the few buildings in Tenton that doesn't have a cloth roof.
Mhm.
You could climb the building itself, but the crowd, which was about 50 as you guys approached, now seems to be swelling, 60, 65 people maybe, has now got it almost completely surrounded.
Okay. So it's
So
it's
you can
kind of
try and sneak through and make your approach, but you'll have to look around for a place to enter.
okay.
Meanwhile, John, what were you trying to say? Sorry.
Oh, no worries. John would approach Mr. Hill with his hands up, speaking loudly, trying to shout over the noise of the crowd, of the gathering crowd, and he would say, now, Mr. Hill, what seems to be the problem here?
Now, that rotten bastard won't let us go home to our families.
He would
You
frown,
hear someone else
looking
shout in the background.
concerned.
Or give us our goddamn money.
He would say, what do you mean, not allowed you to go home? You're not prisoners here. What's stopping you from leaving or returning to your ranch?
Well, he says there's work to do, innit? But he also has us here on half wages doing nothing.
Well, getting paid half a wage to do nothing, that doesn't sound that bad.
Listen, yeah, man. I love my family. I love my ranch. Simple as.
So perhaps you should go be with them. But I understand that, you guys want more work and you want to get paid, but there's complications with the construction. But we're helping Mr. Weedgen solve this as quickly as possible. But for you folks to come here and create more chaos, it's not going to speed things up. It's only going to make everything take longer.
Half of what you're saying is lost in the shouting of the crowd. Sorry. Frank, Aslan, are you guys doing anything?
Aslan
Frank,
will join the chant. Pay or leave. Pay or leave.
God damn, nice.
He has no
Nice.
idea what's going on, but he's blending in with the crowd.
Communism
Well,
confirmed.
Fair enough.
So upon realizing that
Frank, sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Frank, what did you want to do?
So Frank, still drinking his cup of coffee, would also make his way through the crowd to John and Mr. Hill, and just as he takes a sip, just what's going
Ducking
on?
away from people's knees.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah, his
You still
internet
with
isn't
us,
the
Nick?
best, I think.
At this,
Okay, it's
this
just your camera
this
that's
is
frozen.
when I think that's my mindset.
Okay.
you're fine.
Yeah, sorry, I think you lost me for a second. That was just my internet dipping.
That's all right.
All right.
I'm in the Netherlands, so even though I'm not on the farm, it'd still be crap, but whatever.
Better than on the farm, man.
As
Better than on the
what
farm.
half of what John was trying to say is lost out. Frank steps out and asks, "So what's going on here?" And Mr. Hill, distracted from what John is saying, half of it being lost in the crowd anyway, so looks down a little man and says, "You work for the Ark too?"
Is his internet dipping again?
Now,
Yeah.
I think so.
So he asked John if he works for the Ark. Is that what you're saying?
No, I think he's screaming at
he looked at
Frank.
Frank
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Frank
and
works for
said,
the
"You
Ark.
also work for the Ark." Yeah.
So he said you work for the Ark too, and then what?
He said, "You get our boss out here to answer our demands."
Frank just looks at this tall man and just, all right, and he'll start walking, try and get Mr. Weedgen. Start walking to try and get Mr. Weedgen out.
Mhm. Now I rolled a
At that point, Saul probably has made his. Okay, sorry.
I rolled a 24 on my perception check, trying to find a way to access the building.
Oh yeah, you found yourself a nice little gap and a second floor window.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get in there.
Acrobatics, please.
Yes, sir. Okay, so 13.
The DC was a 12 because you're a monk, but you make it.
All right.
You're able to just come along to the window. If you're trying to do it stealthily, you need to act quick.
Okay, I am trying to do stealthily. Do you want me to roll stealth for that?
Yes, roll stealth as you try to scramble the window open and jump inside.
Okay, that's a 23.
you and then pull yourself through the window. And then
Okay.
as you look outside, and it seems that everybody is too distracted by the ongoing events to notice what you were doing.
All right. What do I see? Where am I?
You are in a second floor storage space, which looks like a mix between a filing cabinet and a second-hand store, like dump site. You know, where you go and you can like rummage through crap and then do it
Right.
by weight. You know,
Like a
there
thrift
are a
store.
whole bunch of folder cases and files and stuff there, and then there's a whole bunch of random stuff that you can't seem to place, such as little bobs and bells and and like gauges and strange stuff that seems to just have no connection to each other except that it might belong to a couple of disparate individuals.
Right. Okay.
So it's like, you know,
Yeah.
crap.
I'm gonna try to sneak downstairs and keep an eye out for try to figure out where Mr. Weedgen is hiding. And if I just see like a chest of gold lying around somewhere, just let me know.
Mhm.
Of course.
I'm a big workers' rights guy,
Um,
so you could probably guess what I want to do.
Yeah.
Who, you or
Yeah.
Saul?
Well, both.
Yeah.
Yes. No,
Yes.
the answer is yes.
So
You were Saul.
Saul
Yes.
starts to sneak down the stairs. There's a small hallway, and as you move towards the stairs, you hear, Commandant, Commandant, they are throwing things. Fuck, I fucked up the accent again. God damn it. Give me a second, guys.
You're doing great.
Are you trying to do
Okay.
the Irish one or?
Commandant. No, it's Kryn. It's Kryn the Goblin.
Oh, okay.
Commandant. They are. Fuck.
I think he's
Throwing
Russian,
things.
They're
right?
throwing things at us again. And then you hear an angry shouting from the back of, those bloody bastards don't even know what's fucking good for them, don't they?
All right.
With that, we'll go to everyone outside. Aslan, still chanting, I assume?
Yeah, he's looking for John, trying to follow him, but he's still keeping up his chant while he's walking.
He can make his way to the front of the crowd where the other three are doing what exactly? So that's John, Frank, and sorry, Lula's not at the front of them, is she? So it's just not John and Frank.
Yeah.
Frank is trying to get into Mr. Weedgen's
Is there anything
office,
Lula
trying
wants to
talk
do
this man.
before we proceed?
Well, Luna feels kind of. She sympathizes with the chanting crowd, but she's just a simple farm girl. What can she do? So she just waits by the side and just hopefully it resolves peacefully. And she's lost the other guys. She doesn't know where they are.
Yeah. Basically,
You
John
watch as Frank and John do what, guys?
Frank is going to Mr. Weedgen's office, trying to talk to him.
Yeah, and John,
And he's gone. Oh, he's come back.
John would be in between the line of blue coats with their weapons drawn, and the angry crowd. And he was initially speaking to Mr. Hill, the large tattooed Goliath, and he was attempting to convince him to disperse the crowd. But seeing that he's really not being heard, over like his voice is being drowned out by the crowd, he would he would lower his head a little bit and bring his hand up to his glasses, and he would whisper something under his breath as he casts thaumaturgy, and all of a sudden he just shouts out with a booming voice, way louder than any person would be capable of without the use of magic. And he would say, "Please, we are here to help you. My name is John Morello, and here with my companions, we are going to solve all of these problems. This is not the Ark's fault. There is more at work here that you do not understand. But please, we need your patience. and we need you to disperse, because creating more chaos in all that is happening is only going to make this process longer. But if you go home now, you can rest assured that we are risking our lives to set everything right. Do I roll or something?
I'm going to ask you. Yeah, I'm going to ask you to roll a persuasion check for me, but because of the use of your thaumaturgy, you can roll with advantage.
Yay.
I'm going to roll an insight check against you.
Okay.
So it's 1v2 here.
Please roll good.
You're. I've got my dice result. Have you?
Second.
All right. 19.
Ooh.
Nice, nice.
19? Okay, I rolled a 3, so the whole crowd's shout seems to stutter and hold, except for a particularly growly voice from the back shouting,
Pay or leave. Pay
Oh.
or and then he
Aslan.
fell.
Come over. Thank you, and please, as soon as I know more, I will let you know. You can rest assured, I am here to help.
We are.
Yes,
Frank made it to the office yet?
and my friends. So does the crowd disperse, or?
no, I'll tell you in just a second. But
Okay.
Saul has now reached the bottom of the stairs and hears the crowd stop chanting and sees Crin there. And Crin looks at you and goes, "So, Varish, tell me, what are you doing here?"
Oh, it's sneaking. He saw me anyway.
I'm gonna, you, like, against your stealth, he rolled an 18.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, don't worry about it.
And also, Crin the Goblin claims to not be good at hearing. He's a very perceptive little fellow.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, he's gonna look to the front door and nod towards it and pat his gun.
So what? You are here to protect us or something?
Shrugs. Nods, bobs his head.
About at this point, the shouting has completely died down, and you hear John finishing his little speech.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Please, go home. Or go back to your tents. Or here.
It
In
looks
fact,
like they are dispersing.
It's great. He's gonna go open the door for Frank.
What's John saying? Please finish what you're saying.
oh, nothing. I mean, if they're dispersed, I was gonna buy drinks for everyone, but since they're leaving without that, never mind.
Like the edges are slowly starting to break away. Like the crowd has lost its luster at least.
So actually, you know what? Tell you what. Screw it. He's still gonna do that. He would walk up to Mr. Hill once he sees that people are hesitating about leaving, like they're thinking about it. He would walk up to him and he would set a pouch of 25 gold coins into his large hands, and he would say, "Please, buy a drink for everyone here. It's on me."
Are you generous of you, innit? All right then. Well, I've got my orders. Tell the boss I'll be waiting for you. And then he seems to make his way over to the Silken Spender.
I'll pass it along.
Thank God you passed that speech check, man. I was about to make us outlaws.
I mean, Frank has
it's-
been trying to
you're
get
gonna
Frank has
take
been
him-
trying to get into this office for the entire time, but
Well, there
Yeah.
was a crowd of people in blue cloaks in your way.
Yeah.
Blue coats.
yeah, but I didn't get a chance to try and get in. Anyway,
Sorry, man.
Well, you're not a monk.
no, like I would just speak to the blue coats and get through because I have anyway. It doesn't matter.
The blue coats aren't standing in front of the crowd. Mr. Hill was the person standing in front of the crowd. You were standing with John when he said all of this.
Right.
The blue
No, I
coats
went
were
to the
standing off to the
office.
side, doing what blue coats do
Oh.
best.
Oh, I thought the
I-
blue coats were keeping the people from like banging on the door of the
No,
office.
they're-
Oh,
yeah,
never
No,
mind.
no,
That
no,
was the
no,
problem
no.
I was having too, was because I was trying to get through the front door and it's like the people were crowded up against the building.
Yeah,
Oh, I see.
they were crowded up against the balcony, and Mr. Hill was standing like right against the. So there's like a veranda with a small little not fence. What's the right word that I'm looking for? Small little divider, basically to the outside world. And he was standing right at the step up onto this little veranda, this little porch. And so
Mr.
when
Hill?
you guys approach to the front, Mr. Hill, yeah. So when you
Okay.
guys tried to approach to the front, the crowd is sort of blocking it there. And the blue coats were doing as blue coats do, as they're known to do best, and standing in the corner pretending to do something. But now that
Not
the
doing
crowd
it.
seems to be dispersing, the blue coats are sort of like, all right, move along then, move along, get out of here.
Fucking blue coats.
Show's over, show's over.
All right. So the blue coats were on the veranda, or they're just off to the side of the crowd then?
They were literally like standing in front of like where the train rail is. So to the north, to the west of where the station is on this side.
Okay.
But off to the side, yeah. They weren't standing in front of the way or anything like that.
They were protecting nothing.
They weren't doing anything as
They were
per
literally
usual.
watching everything happen.
So so yeah. So I guess John would finally sigh with relief as they leave, closing his eyes, and then he would open them and look to Frank, and he would gesture towards the door.
So he looks at Frank. Saul has just opened the door and gestured for Frank to come in.
You can hear Frank finally as he walks into the door.
So you guys make your way in. Everyone?
I'm still
Lula,
outside.
Aslan.
Likewise.
I think Saul's gonna step out and guard the door. Because I gotta make a really quick phone call. I am sorry about that. My wife's trying to get a hold of me.
Okay.
But I'll be right back.
No worries.
Lula is outside.
Just mute
still
yourself.
feeling,
Nope, he's out.
Lula is outside, feeling glum about the whole situation, kind of reminding her of back home on the farm. So she is really not in the mood to get up and go inside.
So
Yeah.
as we enter, would Mr. Weedgen be right there, or is he not in the room yet?
At the doorway, you see a small little goblin figure with only a single ear, and he says, "Ah, Tovarish, good morning. Welcome back. You're a little bit early for your meeting, no?"
Sorry about that, but we heard the commotion, and I couldn't sleep any longer after that, could I?
Rather early than late, huh? He says, still holding his
Yes,
coffee.
please. Yes, please. Can we offer you anything?
I could use a refill as he just finished his last sip of coffee.
You will get your refill.
And I wouldn't mind a shot.
You will
Yeah,
get your
Frank.
shot.
Frank would also ask for a shot in his coffee.
You will put the shot in your coffee. It's the frontier. There are very few questions asked.
So, where's the big man?
One moment, please.
And he will go in, and you'll hear some indistinct, vaguely Scottish sounding shouting through the door. And then he will come and say,
Just a minute, and he will welcome you in. You will hear him shout.
and then Kryn will make his way upstairs. To find out where the monk made his intrusion and hopefully secure any inward entry points to the building. After about a minute, you will hear shouting, "Right, come in then."
So John comes in. He pulls down on his new overcoat, Skinco overcoat, and he would give a smile to Mr. Weedgen and say, "Sorry about that confusion outside. Quite a mess, wasn't it?"
Frank?
Yeah, what have you done to piss him off so much?
You think it's my fault, do you? That's right, bastards refuse to fucking work. And then after they refuse to fucking work, then they demand money. And when we give them half wages for doing no work, they demand that they be allowed to either go or continue receiving full wages for doing no work.
Yes, honestly, I believe half wages for doing nothing and for staying on call is quite generous indeed. But I feel I succeeded in making that clear to them. But it is obvious that this matter needs to be resolved sooner rather than later. You can only keep things in control for so long.
I agree.
So,
So I made a
surely you understand their side too, where they refuse to work when people are going missing, right? Being devoured by monsters, though unbeknownst to them.
He sort of like
Or
looks down and like scribbles on a piece of paper and then scrumples up the piece of paper, and after scrumpling up the piece of paper, like angrily throws it away and goes, "Yeah, thanks for reminding me. You spoke of a lot of strange appearances in the tunnels when you went in. Now tell me, do you honestly believe that there are creatures taking people?"
undoubtedly,
Well,
He looks at both of you very, very seriously.
within the
Frank.
tunnels, without a doubt. I'm sorry, go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, Frank would just look at him with a calm face and say, "Undoubtedly."
Well, we
Right.
ourselves were attacked within the tunnels, and I believe what my eyes have seen dark monsters from the depth, horrors you've never even seen in your worst nightmares.
Well, maybe not your nightmares, Frank remarks.
Okay. Right. And he blows out. Seems to take a heavy sigh. You get the feeling that this is something that he's known, but didn't like let himself believe, if you know what I'm saying, you know? It's like when the information, I don't know if you guys have ever been in that situation, when the information dawns on you, it's physically visible. You see the weight hit his shoulders as the truth is confirmed, you know, and
Yeah.
his dwarven shoulders slump. Because okay, well, I've made a contingency. Only problem is, it'll only take about half of the crew. And even so, the Ark is breathing down my neck to get through those goddamn tunnels. I don't know how I'm gonna persuade them. But still, if your crew would go and act as a somewhat of a security detail, I have a camp in the south, and uh, on the eastern rail as opposed to the western rail, we're trying to build a bridge. If you guys could proceed, perhaps go and oversee the building of the bridge, we could move forward there and find an alternative route for the train.
Have you tried about TNTing your way through?
He looks at you, goes, "You were inside the tunnel, weren't you?
Yeah.
Didn't you see the giant fucking cave in?"
Well, sounds like you need more explosives.
I, I, what we need is to move the fucking rubble out the way so we can use more explosives.
You know, it's a great way of moving the rubble out the way. It's blowing it the fuck up.
He sort of looks at you for a second, like very seriously. He goes, "You, you have an engineering mind, right? You understand the basics physics of the operation. You understand that the stone has to go somewhere when the explosion goes off, right?
Yes.
And when the stone goes into the stone walls of the tunnel, it just makes a bigger fucking hole.
Well, I believe
Anyway,
if you put them more strategically, there could be something done there.
Oh,
I could have a look and help your workers to do this a little bit better than they have been doing so far.
never mind digging the tunnel. We could use those explosives to perhaps get rid of that damn pyramid.
he looks at you and he goes, that would solve all my fucking problems. But the only problem is your goddamn new best friend that you saved, the damn archaeologist.
Why is he a problem?
He
Oh,
thinks
John,
the
of
pyramid is some
course.
sort of fucking savior. Demands nothing happens to it. We had to reroute the entire fucking rail around the bastard.
Well, do you need his approval for us to destroy it?
It's a very powerful family, some of which pull strings at the rail company's headquarters.
Well, then what if he didn't know, or he only found out until it was too late? Would it be worse him knowing then than all of your construction being halted and having to go around the whole mountain instead of through it?
John, I don't
He gives
believe you
you
understand that that's not a good idea. He would still figure out that the company would be responsible for it, and we'd be in bigger trouble than you might imagine.
I doubt that. He might hold sway, but let's make no mistake. Ark is a for-profit company. You think they really care about the historics of this dark pyramid, which is clearly evil, if I may add?
Personally, I'd like to keep my job, and I think Mr. Weedgen would agree. We don't want to be the
hey,
ones responsible for it.
Guys,
I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't do it on my own neck.
Well,
guys,
it wouldn't be you going into the tunnels and blowing it up. I don't mind taking responsibility for being the person who saved us all.
Now, we've gotten past the main structure of the pyramid. That's not the problem that we face in the tunnel. The problem that we face in the tunnel is none of our fucking workers will go in there. The lazy, crazy. And then he looks at you too, remembering what you guys said about a second before. He said, scared bastards refuse to enter. And therefore no more work can be done, can it?
Was Lulu wanting to say
Well,
something?
well, that's the thing. If we destroy the pyramid,
Lula wants to say something, but
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
is Lula going to barge into the room and say it? Sorry. Lula wants to say
no,
something, but are you going to barge into the room and say it?
no. Lula
Then
wants.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to hold it for a second.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
John would say, well, if we destroy the pyramid and if it happens as I hope, it gets rid of the monsters, then the workers would have no reason to fear the tunnels anymore, and work can move on. Your life could move on. Just something to consider.
He looks at you, and you can see that he agrees with you, but as much as he agrees with you, he will say, I know that it seems like the easier option right now, but I have direct orders from my boss not to fuck with that goddamn pyramid. And if I had all the fucking power in the world, that piece of shit stone would be blown to rubble before you could count to 3.
And what if we can convince Mr. It's Fecfumble we're talking about, right?
No, that's
Mhm.
not. Wait, is
That
Fecfumble his boss?
no, the archaeologist that wants to
No.
save the pyramid.
Yeah, that's Fecfumble.
That is
That's
Fecfumble,
Fecfumble,
yeah.
yeah.
It's Archibald.
So
His brother's
yeah,
Arthur.
so
Yeah,
Frank would say,
that's not his boss, though, is it?
Archie.
no. Just let me
No, but
finish.
his he has so if you heard what he said the Fecfumble family has members on the board of ARC.
Hmm.
So it
Yes,
may
guys,
not be
can I?
those two, but the family has deeper tendrils involved. Sorry, what do you
Okay,
want to say, Frank?
yeah. So the thing is, I want to refer to the archaeologist. So Frank will, before taking a sip, say, "What if we can convince Mr. Fecfumble of this opinion?"
You mean Dr. Fecfumble?
Yes, my apologies, Doctor Fecfumble.
That's not happening.
Well,
John's read his notes. John knows that's not
Yeah.
fucking happening.
well, Frank will look at John and say, "You say it's evil, yes? If we can convince him of that fact, I highly doubt that he'll want to preserve it." After
Well-
all, he has experienced what goes down in the tunnels, and as adamant as he is, maybe with a little convincing, we can convince him that this thing is indeed evil, and that we should, and that the world would be better without it.
Aren't you? Didn't you hear what I just said? We will not convince him of this. This man has a passion for ancient history, and there's nothing more ancient in these lands than that damn pyramid. But something that does come to mind is he asked us to retrieve his creation, AI, within the tunnels, right? So he could hire us to go there once again, and unbeknownst to him, our good Mr. Weedgen here, he could give us some of those explosives, and while we're there, we'll see what we can do. He doesn't have to know until it's too late, nor would he know that Mr. Weedgen was involved.
Perhaps getting away from the monsters, we had to use certain devices, and he like winks to Mr. Weedgen, that may or may not have resulted in this destruction of this pyramid.
Since, and this is talking out of character, as you can see, I'm not trying to do the terrible Scottish accent that I do.
No, you're great.
Not terrible.
You
It's good.
guys,
Just like a Scotsman.
thank you. I try. So, since you guys didn't mention anything in your downtime, or particularly make a point of talking about what you saw within the tunnels, I have consciously taken that to mean that none of you violated your contract, which means that none of the rumors have gotten out about what you've seen, which means none of the rumors have gotten back to Mr. Weedgen about what you've seen, which means he thinks you've upheld your end of the contract, which means he trusts you more. Good job, boys. And with that, he says to you, "Aye, okay, so there's a modicum of trust between us. But now, how will we convince my bosses that it wasn't my fault? Someone has to take the fall for this one."
It can be me, as I offered earlier. This is
Oh,
my idea after all.
Like John said, we have promised Dr. Fecfumble to retrieve his companion. That is simply what we will be doing, and that's the reason we would be there.
I mean no offense to you, Mr. Morello, but you're a nobody. And our contract between us is private. There's no record of it, except what lies between us. But perhaps if Mr. Whitestone was to take it on as an ARC employee, the termination of your contract could be taking of responsibility.
Well, the premise for us going to the tunnels is we're being hired by the professor to retrieve his AI, and this
Aye.
wouldn't really be related to you or to ARC, this operation. All you would be providing would be the explosives and secrecy.
Aye. Okay, give me a persuasion roll on that one.
Can he
Aye.
have advantage because I've been
Okay.
helping him?
Sure, yeah, you can.
I'm just gonna roll normal,
Why?
cause we're like asking for percent for advantage for every.
Well,
And
this
I
one
got
I
21.
specifically
I got a
helped
You
you
can
with
21.
anyway. Anyway,
21 total?
Yeah.
He goes, "Aye, okay. It's not a bad plan. How much do you want?"
do you mean like
Well,
explosives or money?
Money.
we'll tell you what. If we're successful and we're able to continue with the tunnel, the construction of the tunnel after this, I'll leave it up to your generosity. I'm sure you'll think of something fair for us. But beyond that, Mr. Fecfumble, the professor, will be paying us to go retrieve his little friend. You don't need to put a price on it.
Frank would like raise his hand and be like, I personally wouldn't I would like to get paid, as I am risking my life for this, and I have people that need to be taken care of.
Well, like I said, Fecfumble is paying us to go get his friend. And we're not 100% sure of the outcomes of what will happen if we go this route. So I don't think it's fair for us to demand payment from Mr. Weedgen when he is also taking a bit of a risk himself in this.
Well, personally, this would keep me off of doing my job for Mr. Weedgen. So I'd say it's fair that I would get compensated for the time I'm missing for him, as I'm still working for him.
Well, do you want to be an engineer? Or do you want to save the world, Frank?
I want to be able to take care of the ones that that I'm taking care of, whether or not that would be through my work or saving the world. They're the I need to they need to be provided for, and
Didn't you just get paid 200 gold 3 days ago? I think your loved ones are fine.
Frank will look at John begrudgingly and look at Mr. Weedgen and say, "Sir, I will we can discuss matters without this one later, as I believe we have
Mr.
much
Weedgen,
more to discuss."
Mr. Weedgen will look at you and go, Mr. Whitestone, your services will be appreciated as a mechanic, but I hope you know that beyond your current wages, you'll be compensated for any extra services provided to myself. But I hope this deal is made on the understanding that there is no paperwork and no record of anything that goes on here.
Well, as you said before, there is a moniker of trust between us, so I'm okay with that.
As am I. Right? So you'll decide when you leave, and you'll speak to Kryn about any arrangements that need to be made. Now, boys, good morning. Now, lads, good morning.
Frank will get up and
One
leave.
more thing. Perhaps
Aye.
perhaps we, in case all of this fails, perhaps we can we'll head down south with this other crew of yours. And we can be their security detail. But we can break off from them and attempt to quell the tunnel, quell that damn pyramid. And if that fails, then we will assist them and protect them while they build the bridge instead. That way we can have a backup in case this fails.
Okay, we can discuss it further. Perhaps you should discuss it with the rest of your crew.
Very well. He would walk to the door and open it and look to the others, whoever's standing outside, and he would say, "Come on in, friends."
I'm going to let you guys discuss it in character for a second without Mr. Weedgen.
Okay. So here's the deal, friends. That tunnel, that pyramid needs to go. I think we're all in agreement in this, yes? He would look to the others and he would say, given the fact that it's connected to these monstrosities.
All nods and regards. He's kind of twirling his cigarette between his fingers or watching the ember as he does.
Lula nods as well.
And you, Aslan?
Okay.
Good. So, Mr. Weedgen has offered an alternative. He has asked us to, escort a workers' crew down south, but east of the southern mountains, where there is apparently a place where a bridge could be constructed so that the rail could go around the mountain as opposed to through it. But this is only plan B. Our main mission as we head south with this crew is we're gonna separate ourselves from them, and we're gonna go into the tunnels, and we're gonna plant smoke powder within the pyramid and attempt to destroy it, along with recovering our little friend AI. That way we can take care of 3 jobs at once if we have to. And in case if we can destroy the pyramid, we can call off the work for the bridge and just head back to Tenton and get our dues. But if that fails and we cannot destroy the pyramid, then we'll just go back to the original plan and just protect them while they build the bridge around the mountain.
We're
What
not
do you
going to
think?
go towards that plan B. We're going to succeed. We're going to destroy the evil that's inside there and get that little middleman out. Simple. We don't need a plan B.
God's willing. But I mean, honestly, I don't really care about the rail. That's not what's important now. What's important is ensuring the safety of the lands.
Agree.
Very well then. So we're all in agreement.
I am.
Good. What have you, Aslan, Saul, and Frank? Are you okay with this course of action?
Saul dips his head, kicks off of the wall, looks ready to go.
So,
Aslan
what?
nod. He looks very confident.
Okay. You, Frank?
Let's just hope we don't die.
That's literally every time we set foot outside of town. We didn't need to go into the tunnels to nearly die to scorpions, did we? Or to nearly be stabbed by a masked man in the middle of the night.
What? What masked man? What are you talking about?
The deputy? Do you not
Saul-
remember?
Saul stares at Frank, bug-eyed.
Frank like looks at you guys and just, I didn't see you get stabbed, man. I'm sorry. I only shot somebody running away.
What, you think I was laying in a pool of my own blood for fun?
Well, you tend to exaggerate sometimes. Let's just get going.
My friend, that was no exaggeration. But, yes. But still we need to wait until Mr. Weedgen comes back. He knows when the crew shall be ready to leave.
So,
Leave-
just to confirm and to get everything correct, right? The path that he tried to send you on, there's an eastern and a western rail. The western rail is the one that runs directly south towards the tunnel. The eastern rail is the one that he was talking about, where you guys would go and build the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's about a 3 days travel in between them, and you have to go back to Tenton to take the other rail. You guys saw that there's a while in the rail as you approach Tenton.
Yeah, I think that was a miscommunication because I believe
My
Kaios
understanding from what he was,
understood. Yeah.
sorry, I
Yeah.
was under the impression we were going to get alternative, less streamlined transportation in the form of horses or skinkers.
It's possible as well, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you can do that too, because he's not giving you a locomotive if you want to go back into the tunnels, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Since it's not official Ark business.
I wonder why.
So,
I wonder.
So John would propose this. Beyond the explosives, John would ask for 2 horse-driven wagons, one for the crew and one for them. And then we would head south, and we would have them set up camp somewhere near the tunnels. And then we would let them know that we need to go into the tunnels to retrieve the AI for the professor while they wait. And then we would go and attempt that, and then we would rendezvous back with them. And if we're successful in destroying the pyramid, we can just tell them, hey, forget about the bridge. We don't need to build it anymore. And then we would
Mr.
return,
Weedgen.
and if not, we would head for the bridge if we fail.
So Mr. Weedgen would ask you, so if that's your plan, and you take more than 2 days to to try and traverse the tunnel. I planned on sending my crew on Wednesday. Would you have everything done before Wednesday?
Yes. It's only a day or two of travel till we get there. It's not like we're gonna dig out the tunnels ourselves. We're merely there to retrieve AI and try and attempt to destroy the pyramid, plus killing any monsters that we can come across.
He scribbles down a note on the piece of paper in front of him, and he looks back at you and says,
I,
"I
I think you should send your crew a day after us. That is all that we should really need within the tunnels. I don't expect us to spend more than one day in there attempting to do this, as it'll be do or die.
okay. Could you leave by this afternoon?
Yes, we can. But will your crew be leaving? Can your crew leave tomorrow?
I'll have them leave on Wednesday, as expected, and
Oh,
perhaps I'll send a man or two with you to try and get a message back before then."
that won't be necessary. I'll contact you.
And how would that be?
John would lower his glasses real quick, and a green sheen would flash across his eyes, and he would speak within Weedgen's mind, telepathically, and he would say, "I have my ways."
That gave me like Nick the DM shivers. So Mr. Weedgen definitely got shivers. And he would say, okay, but give me some warning next time, yeah?"
Of course. He would smile and push his glasses back up, concealing his eyes, or his spectacles, shall I say? Um, and then he would smile to him and say, "Well then, I believe this is settled.
I
Wish us
Colonel will
luck."
make the arrangements. Um, everything will be sorted. Perhaps so you'll need a single cart. Is that correct?
I think a wagon
Yeah.
is more appropriate, and a draft horse.
Skinker.
Okay. Skinkers don't pull wagons, their tails are too long. Their tails get caught in the wheels.
Should have known that. Not bad.
Are there
You
camels?
do know that as a farm girl, yeah.
Should have known that.
The only other thing, like besides camels, maybe, but there's not that many on the plains. Mostly there's skinkers and horses are the two most common rides on the plains, or axe beaks, which are commonly called road runners. Um, those are the three most common rides, but most carts are pulled by horses. The only other thing that you know that commonly pulls carts is a creature called a Drix. Um, and maybe Saul and Lula would have come across one in their days on the ranch. Aslan, Aslan would never have seen one, and you guys would have seen one in something like a circus. Frank and John would have seen something like in a circus in Baygate or something like that. But they're not very common animals. They have flat, like the antelopes with very flat faces and flat horns, and they're very common to desert areas.
Gotcha.
But they're not so commonly tamed. If I can put it that way.
Yeah, John would only think of the draft horse then, and
Yeah.
that's what he would ask for.
Mr. Weedgen would go, "A carriage? Oh, a fancy one now, are we?"
No, just
Okay.
a wagon. I mean, if you want to give us a carriage so that we can sleep safely at night without getting devoured by giant scorpions, that wouldn't hurt either.
And besides the explosives, what else do you need?
Rations, the horse and carriage. He looked to the others and asked anything else.
I don't think so. I think we're pretty good.
Right. Okay. It'll be arranged. At noon, the carriage will be at on the rail, uh, on the west of the rail station. If you guys will meet it there whenever you're ready, it'll be sorted. Kryn, Kryn, you wee bastard, get in here! Kryn makes his way in, yeah. It takes a while. There's a second of waiting. There's a second round of shouting of, Kryn! Kryn, you deaf wee bastard!
Bye.
And then Kryn goes, sorry, Commandant. Please, what do you require? And then Mr. Weedgen will explain the situation and say, anything you have now, please, just Kryn's your man. Good luck to you. I hope you find your wee robot.
My thanks. Let us not disappoint you. May the gods be with us.
No stress. We got this.
So yeah, so we would relay to Kryn, or Krim, what we need, the explosives. Basically, we would ask for the biggest explosive that he could give us, and then the horse and carriage, and rations for the trip. You would ask for like extra rations because in case we fail, we would need enough rations to be able to protect the workers while they build the bridge. Right? I imagine that'll take like a week at least if it comes to that. And
the
then also
details
the
will
trip
be
back.
discussed and everything will be organized, and Kryn will soldier out and be like, no problem. For you, easy. And everything will be organized. Is there anything everybody would like to do before they set out? Any last things they'd like to get in town?
Do we
Buy
need
a short sword for Lula.
to
Short
talk
sword.
to Fecfumbles?
Expensive price. Yeah,
How
sorry,
expensive?
Saul.
Do we need to talk to the Fecfumbles? No.
You probably need to talk to the Fecfumbles, yeah.
Okay.
But saying that, you will need to talk to the Fecfumbles about the fact that you're going to retrieve AI.
Yeah.
You will be given the carriage. You will be given a carriage driver. And everything else will be done in the next session as we end it there. Thank you, everyone, for watching this evening. It was so lovely to have you all. And I hope you had as much fun as we did in this little bit more low-key roleplay session. But don't worry. Next time, the excitement begins again. On Quest and Quill, facing the frontier. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeehaw.
Okay, Diego, you can